Hey, RetconRaider here, and welcome back to another lovely day in Scarlet Hollow. A place that's practically drowning in misery. But, to our credit, for better or worse, we're still treading water, even if we are a bit in over our heads. No sense in making waves, we're already in it, so we'll just go with the flow. See where current events take us. How could it possibly get any worse? You feel like you're choking. There's water in your lungs, or there should be. Your ears are filled with the sound of a rushing current. It's cold and dark, and there are people screaming somewhere. There are bodies in the water with you. They are all dead. 1,000 corpses, 1,000 homes, all torn to pieces. But the flood recedes. It hasn't happened yet. You are the mother of a daughter, and your daughter has told you about her terrible dream. It's going to kill everyone. You are not the one who had the vision. Not yet. It has only been described to you by the daughter you have been teaching, as your mother taught you. You're the only one who can stop it, Mother. But you won't be strong enough. Her words are heavy. Oh, scissors thread. Interesting. But, daughter, how can you be so sure? Perhaps it really was just a dream. It's not a dream. You know I've seen things before, and they've always been true. Take my power, Mother. I give it willingly. It's the only path that leads to anything but death. Yes, that might work, but you would still die. It's not death, Mother. It's a return. And what's one life against 1,000? Your daughter is confident. She has already decided this is what has to happen. Well, my beautiful one-eyed daughter, who is very real and speaking to me in this scenario that also clearly really took place and is also being accurately retold. I believe that your idea does have some merits, and clearly there are some weaker people who might have taken you up on it, but no, this is a dark road that you propose we walk down. Best avoided. You deny your daughter. The flood comes, and despite your best efforts, the village is swallowed. 1,000 bodies and 1,000 homes. But that's not how it happened. This has already come to pass, and there is no changing it now, no matter how much you might wish it had all gone differently. Accept and take your daughter back. Well, my darling one-eyed daughter, it appears that I literally have no choice, so, as much as it pains me, I'll do what must be done. I suppose we were both puppets in the end. You accept your daughter's decision. She is not the child she once was, and there is a confidence in her that you have no choice but to respect. You take her back. Her power becomes yours. The flood does not come. The village is saved, and no one ever knows the sacrifice that was made for their lives. No one but you. Years have passed. You outlive everyone you used to know. You move on. You meet new people. You start a new life. You have another daughter. This time, the vision is yours. The piece of your first daughter that lives in you shows you what is coming. Rotting bodies in the streets, the smell of sickness on the wind, church bells ringing for an endless parade of funerals, an entire city whose gates will never reopen. Everyone inside the walls falls to the curse of plague. You were among their number, your body no longer strong enough to heal even itself. You are not enough to stop it. Not as you are. There is another path, a narrow thread. If you were stronger, you could tug at it and unravel the tapestry of the future. Mother, what's wrong? Your daughter will never be as strong as you are, not after what you had to do. But she still carries in her some strength. Enough. Well, my darling, one-eyed, sad-eyed daughter, it would seem your strings have come to an end. You tell her what's coming. You explain what she has to give up, what you both have to give up. You love your daughter, after all. You will miss her, as you miss your first daughter. She is angry. Even when you try to explain that she will be a part of you, that she won't die, she cries, and she tries to run away from you. Fate is attempting to cut its loose thread. Yeah, that's fine. Honestly, it's probably for the best. I mean, what are we going to do? Kill a daughter every time fate hits us with another curveball? We had a good run. Your daughter leaves you. You resign yourself to the future. She is one of the first to die. The streets flood with disease, and the bodies are buried, then burned, then left in heaps on the streets until no one is left to remember any of their names. But that's not how it happened. The entire city rests on this decision. You do what must be done. You do not let your daughter run from you. No plague comes. The city never knows that it would have been a ruin. But there is an unhappiness in you. She didn't understand, and what you took of her is angry, confused, restless. You will have to carry that with you. It is part of the burden of what you are. Though no one knows the depth of what you have done, over the years you have not escaped notice. You find yourself in a capital in a place whose name has changed too many times to count. A war is brewing. The eyes of those who hold fate in their hands are on you, their lips asking which threads to pull and which to cut. And the tapestry is once again revealed to you. The war rages, and it never stops raging. Bleeding that spans generations. Children born to die. Decades of pain that leave a raw wound on the world. Or it ends before it begins. The few die for the sake of the many. You can guide powerful hands to crush those that need crushing. If only you have more power of your own. You call your daughter to you. You raise them differently these days. The disquiet left by the reluctant daughter taught you a permanent lesson. They don't need convincing anymore. They are ready to return to you whenever you need them. And yet, still, you hesitate as you gaze into your sunken-eyed daughter, her listless gaze falling upon your face, and you decide no, this one shall be free to live her own life. Humanity can sort this one out itself. You have a change of heart. It has to end sometime. You let her go. Hundreds of thousands suffer. Countless lives are cut short. Your daughter is among them. Even in her privileged place by your side, the war reaches her, and the both of you burn along with everyone else. You saved her for nothing. But, of course, that's not how it happened. Take her back, and do what must be done. This daughter joins her sisters easily, as she has been trained to do. You are the only one who will remember her sacrifice, and her name. A small rebellion is crushed before it becomes a revolution. The people in power are happy. You leave. You don't want to see any more visions of war. You set your sights on a place where there are no kings. And yet, even an ocean away, power finds you. A man with aspirations. Anyone can hold power here, you have discovered, if they're vicious enough to want it. The hunger in him senses the power in you. And for a time you humor him. You allow him to give you a life of comfort, you and your daughter. You don't see a future where he ever grows more powerful than you can manage. Not until the vision comes. A war like none the world has witnessed. A fledgling nation devoured in the nest. A man who sits on a throne where none was meant to be. The world under his cruel fist, bowing to its crushing weight. The very ocean stained red by his influence. He is already on his way, you realize, too late. You have been too close to him to see it. Your choices have already narrowed. The war is coming, whether you strike now or not. The loose thread sticking out from a mass of blood, with you too weak to grasp it. But you have a daughter. You always have a daughter. Until you don't. And yet, perhaps it's time for rest. Aren't you tired of all this? When does it all end? You gaze into the face of your potato-eyed daughter, your many-eyed daughter, your biblically accurate daughter, and decide that this perhaps is where the cycle will finally end. You're so very tired. Of course you are. But the world needs you. You can't let it end like this. The part of you that is your first daughter can't let you. And so you take her back and erase the man before his name can mean anything. You do what must be done. She joins her sisters, as is her destiny, and you remove him from the world. The hole where he was is filled by lesser men, none of whom remember whose shoes they're stepping into, and none of whom can hope to command the way that he would have. Blood is spilled. Less blood, but you still feel every drop. You hide yourself away from the world. You and your daughter. The visions still find you, but here they are small, the decision simple. You make them all the same, helping where you can. A storm halted, a conflict settled. Until one day, when you are shown a dark pit. Splintering wood, debris trapping everyone inside, bodies burning as the very rock catches fire, children screaming as their flesh bubbles, then silence as lungs fill with smoke. You know the choice that lies in front of you. But no, not this time. You take your daughter's hand and you look her in the eyes. They're green like yours. You don't want to do it this time. You stare out over the hills together as a plume of smoke rises into the air. But you can't hear the screams from here. Right, because she did not in fact stop the Scarlet mine collapse. She only got involved after. You assume you will die one day, like anyone else. After all, you're long past due. Maybe you'll be lucky enough to know your grandchildren before you go. Then the man comes, and with him, a vision. He has already decided. He is bringing something here. Something ravenous that doesn't belong, but that has been pressing at the edges of your world, trying to find a way in. It has its way now, whether you help him or not. More of the thread you've followed comes into focus, and for the first time, you follow it beyond your death. Disaster after disaster, crisis after crisis, thousands of years of little cuts that you weren't there to mend. On and on it goes, longer than you can ever hope to follow. Its toll, eternal and incalculable. But there is a new thread, too. If you are patient enough, if you are strong enough when the moment finally comes, if you do everything right, you can devour this thing that sits outside the world. And it will give you so much power that you will never have to take back a daughter again. You could fix as many things as you'd care to fix. Floods, plagues, wars, kings. You look into her green eyes, so much like yours. But you can't. You can't. You just can't. But you did. You take her back and summon the entity into the world, because it must be done. You welcome her back, as you have with every daughter before her, and you help the man. He is arrogant. He cheats the thing from another world in every way he can. He wastes your time. There will have to be more daughters before the day comes that this will be over. But days and daughters come and go, and you are very patient. You have to be if you're going to stop the hurt that would scar a world without you there to guide it. And now you are here, on the cusp of the end. The final daughter. You... What are you doing here? Are you real? No, it doesn't matter. I don't care if you're a dream or not. I've already made my decision anyway. Don't bother trying to talk me out of it. I finally have a real purpose. And now that I know what that purpose has always been, I can't go back. Or it would hang over me for the rest of my stupid, small life. So, oh, okay, you're talking, right? Yes, the dialogue box is back. We're back. Okay. Wow, look at that. They front-loaded a bunch of... Okay, so the witch is definitely still influencing our mind. They filled the entire first screen of responses with quick and easy agreement, so that they could bury the actual explore options. Kanika, it's been a while. When was the last time we even saw each other? It's like I just forgot you existed. That's okay. It's part of all this. Soon enough, you can go back to forgetting, and it'll be like all this never happened. You won't even know to be upset about it. You're talking about what your mother is going to do to you, what she did to your sisters? Did you not just go through that whole life story thing? Was that just me? Look, I'm going to do what I was born to do. I'm going to save lives, Retcon. More than most people could in a lifetime. I mean, that's assuming, of course, that you can take your mother's word for what's going to happen. You don't ever think that she might be shaping how you see things? Doubt all you want, but I'm not taking that chance. Because if I turn back now, I'll know everything my mom could have stopped will be my fault. And what exactly is it that she's trying to stop? I mean, if you saw what she showed me, then obviously you know it's never worked before. Why would this time be any different? Do you even understand what she's trying to do? That thing that Enoch brought, whatever it is, breaking out and causing havoc. And all those disasters my mom would be able to stop if she takes its power for herself. I'm so much smaller than all that. But in this moment, I can be what stops it. I can be big enough. My life can be meaningful. Oh man, Kanika, I'm really starting to wish we had spent more time together. So that's it then? You really don't see any better use for yourself than just as a tool for your mother's ambitions? You have nothing else to live for? What, working at a shitty little general store in a dying town? Yes, I would call that pretty meaningless. I mean, you've still got a brother. Which, unfortunately, it doesn't seem like I can actually bring up. That's unfortunate. Kanika, I don't know if anything I can say is really going to sway you, but you don't have to do this. Yes, I do. You saw what's going to happen if I don't. What am I supposed to do? Go back to my normal life after this? Knowing how many people are going to suffer through the generations because I was too selfish to save them? How could I ever live with myself? Oh, man. I don't know. I don't know if there's anything we're going to be able to say to her. We just don't know her well enough. I mean... Kanika, I know we haven't known each other for long, but the one thing that definitely stuck out to me is your deep skepticism for everything around you, never taking things at face value. Strange considering your mother's vocation, but that really makes this stand out. Why are you, of all people, just accepting this? Ooh, okay. Well, if she's right, then I'd be dooming all those people just because I was too much of a coward to do what she's asking me to. I have to take this on faith because the consequences are just too much. If this week has taught me anything, it's that my intuition isn't always leading me in the right direction. Isn't it time I took that to heart now? When it could mean saving so many people? Oh, Kanika, I mean, you are honestly making an argument that does kind of resonate with me, but at the same time, I just don't trust your mother. She's so tied up in all this. And I mean, the fact that she's clearly still influencing us as well. Because she told you that. How do you know that what she told you is true? How do you know those aren't just thoughts she put there? How do you know you can trust what you think you know? Because it feels true. I mean, what else have I done with my life that has any value? Drop out of school, mope around in a dead-end town telling myself I'm better than that place, even though I'm just as stuck as everyone else? No, I can't. Quiet, dear. There's no need to let Retcon talk you in circles. You already know the right answer, remember? I don't know anymore. Yeah, I don't think this is gonna go our way. We got no special prompts, no real ins aside from maybe the skeptic thing. Retcon, you have no idea the kind of danger you're putting yourself in by being here. You think you're doing the right thing, but all you're doing is dooming countless lives. Starting with yours. Tabitha, too. She carries a heavy burden, but she doesn't have to. Not anymore. You two can be the family you were always meant to be, free from the sins of generations past. If you let me do what needs doing. Kanika can't save you on her own. But I can. I'm only able to tell you so much, but I tried to show you what I could. I'd hoped you would be able to trust me by now. For your sake. This is the only way your story gets a happy ending. Yeah, well, I mean, sacrificing myself for the greater good is kind of my go-to move. So that's it then, you're saying there's no other way? It's either my life or hers? Because, Sybil, if you think I'd actually choose myself over her, you really don't know me at all. Though, I suspect I won't have much choice. That is a very distinct possibility, yes. Though any harm visited on you won't come from me. You're in danger. I'm sure you can feel that. And I make a powerful ally. Believe me when I say I understand the burden that's been placed upon you. Yeah, I'll bet you do, considering that from what I've gathered, you're a big part of the reason that burden's on me in the first place. But I've got to say, Sybil, I don't feel super great about what you're proposing here. I know how unpalatable this feels, Retcon. But pull back the curtain and it's a far kinder choice than anything you've been party to this week. How does a gentle exit compare to locking Rhys Kelly away in that tiny little room for the rest of his life? Do you think he'll ever be well enough to leave? Unlike Duke, who left behind a widow and son to mourn him, Kanika's memory will be but a passing breeze. There won't be anyone to hurt from her loss. You're a bad mom. Even you'll forget her as soon as she's gone. The burden of remembering her is mine, and mine alone. You courageously chose to free Charlie's spirit from the library, but at the cost of so many of your years. Have you stopped to wonder how many people you haven't been able to help because of your body's frailty? How long do you think Avery Bell can last with that thing attached to them? I don't think you've made any wrong choices, Retcon. Enoch's legacy has simply stacked the deck against you. My daughter is one person, and she won't die in the traditional sense of the word. She'll be here, with me and her sisters. It will be gentle, like stepping into a pool. All of these lingering threads left by your decisions can still be mended, if you let her help me. Yeah, look, I appreciate that you want to help me get out of the situation that you seem to have at least partially caused. But I do have other options. You know, Wayne seems awfully eager to help me, though I suspect he's coming at it from a very different direction than you are. One might even say diametrically opposed. Sybil flashes you a pitying look. You poor dear. Do you really feel like he's the only one you can turn to? You think I've been manipulating you, yet that man somehow managed to earn your loyalty? Just because he's been kind? Kindness is easy when you're free to lie. Truth is what's hard. I'm giving you the truth, now. Sure, yeah, truth with a capital T. You really call this truth? What you've been doing? Awfully catty of you. It's the closest I can get to it. Yes. Okay, and why exactly is that? Is there some rule that says you have to dance around it? That you can't just come out and say what's really going on? You could have saved us a whole lot of trouble if you'd just been honest from the start. Those are the rules. Every bargain has its rules. A bargain, you say? Like the one that you're trying to broker with me right now? And what would the rules of this one be? This isn't a bargain. I was always going to help you. After that, I intend to break the structures that have been holding everyone in place. I have no interest in building a new prison. Oh, now we can bring up Miles. And what about your son, Miles? After you absorb your daughter, what happens to him? Don't be ridiculous, Retcon. Do you think I haven't had other children in the past? I just become something else to them. Someone who still loves them. He won't be alone. He'll still have the both of us. Just in a different way than he used to. The question you should be asking yourself is what will happen if you stop this from finishing? Do you think Miles will be better off with a broken family in a town where everyone stays trapped? Let him be free to have a future, Retcon. Oh, interesting phrasing. I've got to ask, why is it so important that I agree to whatever it is you're trying to do here? Did you know I was going to be here, or are you just adapting to fit the circumstances? Does my being here mean that your plans are already going off the rails? Because I've got to say, if they're already going wrong... I did see this possibility. No, inevitability, I suppose. I'd hoped it would all be over before you could find me. I know it can be unpleasant to watch. I'd hoped to spare you, even if I knew in my heart that all the worthwhile roads for you to walk would bring you here, right before I could finish my work. But your being here only throws a wrench into things if you're unable to grasp the weight of what you're about to do. So ask as many questions as you need to. Explore all avenues. I will answer until you understand. I mean, look, some of what you say seems like it makes sense, at least to my perceptions, but why would I ever trust you based on what I've seen you do to other people in Scarlet Hollow, like Julius? Oh, the baby. The one he was supposed to keep incubating until the pumpkin had shriveled in the field. I gave very clear instructions, you know. It isn't my fault that the Callaways decided it was their property, or that he decided to hatch it while it was still hungry. I saw the possibility, I won't lie to you about that. But I see many possibilities. It was just as likely that the baby would consume him before anyone was the wiser, or that the pumpkin would be taken to the fair and the thing inside would die, where no one could see its suffering. Sometimes, Retcon, pain is unavoidable. Julius wanted a fix for everything that had gone wrong for him over the decades of his life. I couldn't provide that, not after who he had decided to become. It was already too late to stop those consequences from reaching him. What you're doing now is inviting a future with more pain. Please, let me choose the kindest path instead. I mean, Sybil, I don't think there's anything I can do to stop you. But just based on the things I've seen and the things I've done since I came to Scarlet Hollow, even you have to know that I would never agree to this kind of solution. You have to stop. You reach forward, grabbing Kanika by the arm and doing your best to wrench her free from her mother's grasp. She's all but given up, her wrist limp in your grasp, her eyes dim and resigned. You pull as hard as you can, expending more effort on this action than you have on any one movement in your life. But effort alone is not enough. Your body is weaker than it used to be. The witch is stronger. Why do you care so much about what happens to me? It's better if I go. Kanika is pulled away from you, and the dream floods back in. For a second, you struggle to remember why you were here. There's a weight on your chest, an emotion unmoored from its source. Your heart is beating fast. You were looking for someone, or maybe you'd found them, but... Oh, that's right. You were trying to find Carmilla. Retcon, I'm so glad you were able to find your way here. Oh, Carmilla, yes, my good friend, Carmilla. I was so worried everyone had forgotten about me. I don't know how long I've been stuck here. I hope it's not too late. We need to get back to town. We have to help Stella and Tabitha and everyone else. But before that... She wraps her arms around you, pulling you into a hug. She smells like herbal smoke and pine needles, with the vaguest undercurrent of coconut. There is a comfort in the smell. It reminds you of something, and when she pulls away, you find yourself missing it, wishing you could keep chasing those half-forgotten dreams. But they're only dreams. Thank you, Retcon, for caring enough to come and save me. Of course you cared, after the two of you spent all of yesterday looking for Stella together. Even though you've only known each other a scant few days, it was only right that you come look for her when she needed your help. I don't know what I would have done without you. Now let's get out of here, before we both get sucked back into the dream. Right, of course. What? Carmilla, I'm sorry, what was I saving you from? Exactly? You'll have to forgive me. I've been through a lot the past few days. I guess some things are starting to slip my mind. This place, it took me out of the world, trying to isolate me, to erase me. Right, yeah, that must be why. Though I could have sworn there was someone else here with us. Those figures? The ones that were dancing around through the illusions? All of this is meant to confuse us. Don't let it make you doubt reality. You and I are all alone here. Everything else is a dream. Right, of course. So, I guess consider yourself rescued. How do we get back out? Sorry, I guess I didn't really plan that far ahead. Take my hand. Her hand finds yours, her grip light and delicate. Now that we're together, the illusion can't hold us here anymore. Let's go home. She tugs gently, and the world shifts nauseatingly around you. It feels like you're being buoyed upwards, ascending rapidly, the dream rushing away like water down a drain, until finally, you surface. You're outside. It's raining. You have no idea where you are. Tulip? Janie? And thus ends Chapter 5. Man, that, oh boy. I mean, even just going into that, I didn't have a great feeling about that particular confrontation. We drank Sybil's tea, we never really spent much time with Kanika, plus this is a legacy save, so any, the feats, the perks are all wonky in this chapter. Though, I'm not even sure which one it was that would have actually helped us there. Mystic feels like a big one, but I don't know if that's the intended one. Because the impression I get is that this chapter is supposed to now be keen senses and or street smart, depending on the status of your saves. Which in our case obviously landed it on street smarts, as evidenced by our complete failure to really stop much of anything there, though it did lead to an interesting dynamic where unfortunately we're just completely compromised by Sybil. Hence I'd wager the loss of control back on the farm, and then this, of course. Which, I mean, I'm sad about, but at the same time, I'm not really mad because just narratively it makes sense based on the decisions that I made. Sucks for Kanika, I suppose, but also at the same time, I guess I'm not super attached to her because, much like Avery, we just never really spent much time with her, which is definitely something we're paying for, or that we paid for, rather, since it just gave us no real in for that final attempt to talk her down. Though I do wonder how things might have played out if we had never partaken of Sybil's tea. And see, the weird thing is that, I'd almost maybe have leaned into Sybil's whole spiel, if not for the fact that I also knew that she was in fact influencing our minds with that mind-altering tea. If she hadn't made that one move that really made her seem suspicious and convinced me that she was up to no good, which, I mean, obviously I still think she is, but at this point, we've really got no choice but to go along with it because our mind has been made up for us. We're now on a crash course with her attempt to consume an eldritch god, which I'm gonna guess is the thing in Wayne's head. Yeah, I mean, obviously there's a lot of things that we missed in this chapter and previous ones, but I think overall, the general gist of what we're seeing here is that the Scarlet family was already deep into the arcane before Sybil ever arrived. Enoch was playing Call of Cthulhu, trying to conjure up dark powers for some unknowable end, only for the mind collapse to put that all in peril. Which, of course, is why, in his desperation, he turned towards a pact with Sybil. Because she did let slip that she's the one who actually summoned the thing into this world. And placed it, I imagine, inside of the boy in the wall. Though it does seem it's jumped a few bodies since then. I'd also wager that she's the one who removed Enoch from the picture, since obviously he'd outlived his usefulness once the thing was summoned. And now she's simply biding her time, waiting for a chance to seize all that power. Now that it's waned. Which, unfortunately, you know, while it wasn't our intent, we do seem to be enabling. Though we do, again, still have options. We've still got Wayne out there. Though, I mean, then the question becomes, you know, is whatever Wayne has to offer in any way meaningfully better for us? Or for Scarlet Hollow, or for Earth? I mean, maybe he really does just want to leave. Maybe he wants to go home. Man, Scarlet Hollow. I've got to say, you know, not crazy about how this all played out, but at the same time, very curious to see where we go from here. And as ever, I live with the consequences of my actions. Which do seem like they will be very meaningful indeed. You know, we almost had our own improvised mystery gang when this all began. Stella, Gretchen, Reese, Kanika, Tabby to a certain extent. Gotta say, though, that mystery van's looking awfully empty right about now. And yet we drive on nonetheless, because what other choice do we have? Bit of a hiatus now until Chapter 6 drops, of course, but we'll get where we're going eventually. So I guess I'll see you then. Oh, and also, special thanks to the Raiders for helping make this series possible. Thanks, guys, for putting me through this nightmare. Including, but not limited to, Eerie V23, Revenant, Alois, Arrow Boatman, Dragon Matrix 7, Drakiith, EgonAlter, Exsellsior, Gottlieb, James Trimmier, Lady Shayna, Mark Giemza, RandomPassrby, RobbyB, Rowan Church, Triphoppenskip, and Valinrook. Thanks for your support, guys. And hey, if you'd also like to help support the channel, then feel free to push the buttons that do the things. Trust me, it does make a difference. Or you could even check out the PayPal, the Patreon, the Nexus GG, or the YouTube memberships. Links are in the description.